Welcome to the Explainer. So today we are kicking things off with a day one English boot camp. We're going to equip you with an immediate, highly effective speaking toolkit and honestly help eliminate that lingering fear of speaking imperfect English. Because let's face it, if you've ever felt stuck translating in your head or you're terrified of making a grammar mistake, you are in exactly the right place. Just take a look at this quote. Fluency is built by speaking imperfect English every day, not by waiting to speak perfect English. It completely shatters this expectation of perfection right out of the gate. Seriously, it means you need to start speaking right now, mistakes and all. When it comes to language learning, perfection is literally the enemy of progress. Your journey to fluency actually requires those mistakes to pave the way. So embrace them. All right, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1, mindset, 2, the daily toolkit, 3, breaking bad grammar, 4, nailing the pronunciation, and finally 5, your day one challenge. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the daily toolkit.
Okay, so here are 10 absolute must-know idioms that native speakers use all the time. You really don't need to memorize a whole dictionary to sound fluent. You just need to know how to drop in phrases like these. Try picking a few standout examples from this list to inject some real personality into your next chat. Like, instead of just saying, I'm very healthy, you can say, I'm fit as a fiddle. Or if you want someone to reveal a juicy secret, just tell them to spill the beans. Feeling a little sick? You're under the weather. Taking these small, colorful phrases and plugging them into your daily conversations is just a massive instant fluency booster. Now, right alongside those idioms, we've got these 10 native expressions. You can think of these as conversational glue. They're short, they're snappy, and they keep your dialogues flowing smoothly without you having to overthink every single response. Casually tossing in a fair enough when you agree with something, or an encouraging you got this when a friend is feeling nervous. It just shows a level of comfort with the language that goes way beyond standard textbook English. And if someone says thank you, a quick no worries sounds incredibly natural. We can actually build out your descriptive power even further with phrasal verbs. The real trick here is how easily you can string them together to describe a simple daily routine. Just look at this example. I woke up at 6 a.m., got up quickly, turned on the light, and carried on with my studies. See? Instead of hunting for formal, complex words, native speakers rely heavily on phrasal verbs like wake up, turn on, and carry on to describe their everyday lives. It simplifies your vocabulary while making you sound perfectly fluent. It's a total win-win. So, out of our advanced vocabulary list today, which, by the way, also includes great words like diligent, genuine, remarkable, and insightful, we are really spotlighting one specific word, resilient. It means being able to recover quickly from difficulties. But why highlight this one, right? Well, because as an English learner, you absolutely need resilience. You need that ability to bounce back quickly when you stumble over a word or accidentally use the wrong tense, or maybe misunderstand a native speaker. Being resilient is literally the secret ingredient to actually using the toolkit we just built. Moving right along to Section 2, breaking bad grammar. First up in our rapid-fire corrections, we really need to talk about state verbs. The crucial takeaway here is that verbs describing a state of being, like knowing, liking, or believing, they generally don't take an ing form. We just need to drop that continuous ing. So instead of saying, I'm knowing him, which, trust me, is a very common mistake, the correct phrasing is just simply, I know him. We also have to pay super close attention to subject-verb agreement. When we use singular third-person subjects, like he, she, or it, the verbs have to change to match them. So she don't like coffee becomes she doesn't like coffee. And he have a car becomes he has a car. I know it seems like a really small mechanical shift, but getting this right instantly elevates how polished your English sounds. Let's look at another classic mix-up. So agree is an action verb, okay? It's not an adjective or a state of being. That means you don't say I am agree, you just say I agree. Exactly the same way you would say I run or I eat. Also, look at the word discuss. The word itself already means to talk about something, right? So adding about is totally redundant. It's not let's discuss about the project. It's simply let's discuss the project. Boom, no extra preposition needed. Now let's tackle a few common mistakes that pop up a lot, especially in Indian English. Look, we have all translated directly from our native language at some point, and in a lot of languages, asking for a good name is a wonderful sign of respect. But in English, this literal translation just sounds a bit unnatural. You actually don't need the modifier at all. You just politely ask, what is your name? And you're good to go. This next one is incredibly common, especially in professional settings.
Starting your introduction with a reflexive pronoun like myself, Rahul, is actually grammatically incorrect in English. You just can't use myself as the subject of a sentence. So instead, politely and naturally introduce yourself with a simple, confident, I'm Rahul, or my name is Rahul. It's so much cleaner.
Finally, for our grammar section, let's clear up a few of these regionalisms. Revert already means to go back, so saying revert back is repetitive. Just drop it for a simple reply. Also, the phrase do one thing, which is often used to give instructions, can sound a little bit abrupt in global English. Try replacing that with, here's what we can do. And this is a big one. Remember, in standard English, you graduate from college. To pass out actually means to faint or lose consciousness, which is definitely not what you want people thinking happened on your graduation day.
All right, section 3, nailing the pronunciation. Let's be real, English spelling is kind of famous for not matching its pronunciation. It's a bit of a mess. Just notice how the T in often is usually totally silent. It's often. Look at vegetable. It completely drops an entire middle syllable, becoming vegetable. The exact same thing happens with comfortable. It's comfortable, not comfortable. And then with schedule, you actually have a choice. You can go with the American schedule or the British schedule. I highly recommend practicing reading these aloud exactly as they're spelled out in the phonetics on screen. Now, let's see how all of this builds into a really natural daily conversation flow. We're finally putting the expressions we learned earlier to work. Notice how this steps back and forth organically, kind of like a tennis match. Person A starts with a casual, "Hi, how's it going?" Person B uses one of our native expressions, "I'm doing great," and then bounces the ball right back with, "What about you?" A replies, "Pretty good. What are you up to?" And B finishes with, "I'm studying English." It's just a simple, effortless volley, perfectly glued together with expressions like, "sounds good," at the end. This right here, this is what real, everyday English sounds like. Which brings us to Section 4, your Day 1 challenge. The bootcamp source material gives us a really active mission here. It actually suggests pausing this explainer, standing in front of a mirror, looking yourself right in the eye, and reading this exact script aloud for 1 minute. Just fill in your own name. Say it over and over for 60 seconds without stopping, and absolutely positively without worrying about your mistakes. Speak it into existence. I know mistakes are part of learning, so I'll keep practicing. Doing this out loud physically breaks the barrier of speaking a new language. You have to try it. But wait, before we wrap up, let's test your memory really quick with this mini quiz. Do you think you can answer these 5 questions without looking back at your notes? Okay, what does spill the beans mean? What fills in the blank in let's blanket a day? How do you correct I'm knowing him? These questions are here to lock in the crucial elements we covered today, just ensuring you walk away having truly, deeply absorbed the material. So to fully complete Day 1 of your bootcamp, make sure you actually check off every single item on this daily mission list. Learn those idioms and phrasal verbs. Practice that conversation flow aloud 5 times until it feels like absolute second nature. Do the 1-minute mirror challenge, and of course, ace that quiz. Active participation is exactly what transforms us from just another explainer you watch online into a real, concrete stepping stone to fluency. And wow, that brings us to the close of Day 1. From Day 2 onward, the material relies on something called spaced repetition. This basically means introducing new material while continuously bringing back the older topics, weaving them all together so you lock this knowledge straight into your long-term memory. You won't just learn it today and forget it tomorrow. But that leaves us with one final essential question for you to ponder. Now that you have the tools, do you have the resilience to show up again tomorrow, push through the inevitable mistakes, and keep building your fluency? I really can't wait to unpack Day 2 with you next time.